Alright, so in the latest chapter of One Piece, we finally got our first look at the Void Century War, and not only that, but the war that took place before that. And it's depicted as a mural carved on the treasure tree Atom in Elbaf. And let me also point out that there is so much going on here that it's really difficult to fully understand everything that is happening. So forgive me if I'm not, 100% correct on everything I'm saying here, because I just don't think there is any way to really know for sure at the moment. All we could do collectively as a community is just speculate. So, just bear with me here. I'm going to try my best. Probably not the most qualified, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So we see this mural depicting the war before the Void Century and the war during the Void Century, or at least I'm assuming that's what's happening here. I think the one on the right is the first and the one on the left is the second. So the first inscription says, "On Earth there's a flame. Mankind overtaken by desire touched upon the forbidden sun. The enslaved prayed, the sun god appeared. The deity of Earth is enraged. Together with the serpent of hell flame, they engulf the world with death and darkness. They can't be met again." So this first part, on Earth there is flame, mankind overtaken by desire, touched upon the forbidden sun. So as we can see over here, there's like this factory with people mining this energy type source thing. And I'm assuming that's what they're doing here. They found this quote unquote flame and they are mining it. So what is it? Well, you're immediately going to think, well, it's the mother flame. I mean, that's not technically correct, because the mother flame is kind of like a synthetic power source that Vegapunk created from the original idea of what this is. And what this is, in my opinion, is what Vegapunk referred to as ancient energy. The power source that powered Emeth, that big robot on Egghead. The energy source that they don't have access to anymore. This is how that came to be, I think, and what formed the original version of the Mother Flame, or whatever it was originally called. Now, the humans doing this angered the quote-unquote deity of Earth, which I assume is this dragon type thing at the top here, which is shooting fire along with this serpent of hell flame. Now, it's very possible that these are actual creatures that existed back in the day, or they're like metaphors for something else, but I'm just going to assume that these were real things that existed that just don't exist anymore. We've seen a few depictions of actual tangible deity type creatures throughout the story in present day so far, so I'm assuming it just got bigger back in the day. Now, I'm not sure if this happened before or after the people from the moon came down to the Earth because their resources ran out. I'm talking about the ancestors of the Skypians, the Shandorians, and the Birkins, like the deserted city that Enel found when he went to the moon. I mean, I guess just the moon as a whole, but they came down to Earth eventually, and this might be around that time, which is like over 1100 years ago, I think, something like that. So it's a couple hundred years before the actual Void Century. Another interesting thing is if you look down below the implied deity of Earth, you'll see this character that looks like Emu. It has like the similar crown to Emu, the slender silhouette. Now, that doesn't mean that this has to be Emu. It could just be whoever the king was at that time, but it very likely could be Emu as well. And you'll see that Emu is standing on top of what looks like an elephant. This could be Zunisha maybe, and maybe that is what Zunisha's crime is. Helping Emu, whatever nefarious thing that Emu did. We know even less about the first war than we do about the Void Century. And next to Emu is like this big arc. I'm assuming this arc is getting ready for the flood that is about to happen. And this is like the ancestor to what would become the Noah. Maybe this is what gave Joy Boy the idea to make the Noah, because we do see like this Uranus type thing shooting a beam into the ground, or like a lightning strike or something. And I guess this is causing the flood here. Now, I don't know if this is actually Uranus, because I thought the ancient weapons were invented during the Void Century, but maybe there was prototypes to them that came before that, or maybe some of them were made beforehand. Maybe Uranus was the first ancient weapon that was made before. Not really sure. I'm going to move on from here because I'm just going to keep speculating about stuff that I'm not qualified to talk about. But anyway, you'll see that the two wars are split between the Atom tree here. And it's important because I think this might be the tree that first bared devil fruits, because I think in the first war here, devil fruits didn't exist yet. And I think whatever happened led to the devil fruits forming. And I think that led to the Void Century War, or maybe they were birthed during the Void Century War. I'll explain that a little more after I read the inscription of what the Second War pertains to. So it says, "In emptiness there is breath. The deity of the forest dispatched demon. The sun did nothing but spread seeds of war. The people of the half moon saw a dream. The people of the moon saw a dream. Men became gods after slaying the sun. The deity of the sea rampaged. They can't be met again." So this is the thing that we're more accustomed to. This is like what we imagine the Void Century War would be. Essentially everyone versus Imu and the Gorosei. I'm pretty sure that this big demonic creature here holding the sun is Imu. And I think this is post Devil Fruit creation, because I think Imu's dream or desire was to be the deity of Earth, this big dragon thing. And I think once it probably died along with the serpent in the first war, Imu might have been directly responsible for this devil fruit to be born. Maybe it was the first devil fruit, the deity of the earth, this big dragon thing. Maybe this is what the celestial dragon actually is. And Imu ate that fruit and became all powerful, essentially. And what we're seeing here is Imu in the hybrid form, holding the mother flame, or the ancient power source, and trying to monopolize it, or just keep it from most people on Earth from being able to use it. Now, also underneath Imu, we see like this boat with 5 people in it, and I guess a 6th person rowing it or something. I'm assuming that these are the Gorosei. And then we see everyone fighting against Imu. We've got Sun God Nika here. Now, I don't know if this is Joy Boy. I guess it kind of has to be chronologically, but I guess this is, after the devil fruit was also born of Sun God Nika, and Joy Boy ate it. Just guessing. Then we've got all of Joy Boy's boys with him here. Well, we've been speculating about for years. We've got an ancient giant here. This might be like the OG ancient giant, possibly even what the skull on Onigashima represents. Like maybe that was this guy. And this was, that big sword stuck in it as well. Then we see regular giants. Then we see the minks. We see Lunarians. We see people riding whales here. And I guess that goes back to Laboon and all the other whales, how they tie into this and why they keep slamming into the red line. We see samurais. I'm assuming these are the original Wano people. These might be people from Alabasta. This is Emeth, of course. This is possibly the original Poseidon, or one of the first Poseidons. And you'd think like, man, surely they're going to win this war. Well, spoilers, they don't. Imu and the Gorosei win. Now, how did they win? I'm assuming how the bad guys in One Piece always win in the flashbacks. It's because the good guy winds up being an idiot and costs the entire war for everyone. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Imu is incredibly powerful, but I guarantee it ultimately came down to Joy Boy making a stupid mistake and like believing Imu or something, or allowing Imu to trick him, something like that. Like, think about what happened with Odin. It's probably gonna be something like that. But it seems like this was a war over not only just slavery, but also power source. Not like, power to rule, but energy power. And I think it goes back to what Vegapunk's whole dream was, to not only give the internet to people, but to give people unlimited energy. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to form his own quote-unquote sun. Like, he literally says sun as we see Imu holding it here. This is like renewable energy that the entire world can use. So that brings us to the third war, which is also talked about here, but we don't really have to get into that because it just says that Nika laughed and all that stuff, which of course is alluding to Luffy fighting Imu in the end. So I guess it's like ultimately coming down to third time's a charm, right?
Hey, but real quick guys, you should check out Gamer Subs in case you haven't already. They're a great energy supplement that can help you with gaming, studying, playing or anything that really you want to do. They come in caffeine and caffeine free, and they also have nootropics in it like L-theanine, L-tyrosine, and choline L-bitartrate. So it's not just, you know, regular caffeine. It makes you really feel good and focused. If you're looking for a tub to buy, check out the new flavor Nuclear Bombsicle by Casio. It tastes just like a bombsicle. This is already one of my favorite flavors. They also have these awesome sus bars, which are only 100 calories and only has 1 gram of sugar and 8 grams of protein. My favorite flavor is the chocolate. I cannot get enough of these things. They also have gamer tea in both caffeinated and non-caffeinated. I personally really like the caffeine-free sleepy time with theanine. You can also get some of these awesome gamer soups, which I absolutely love. So guys, check the link in the description and make sure to use code BIGZ for 10% off. Thanks, guys. But yeah, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, guys. I know tons of you have your own speculation, theories. Let me know, put them in the comments, have some discussions, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.